ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं विश्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम् शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् ॐ श्रीकृष्णपरमात्मने नमः अथ श्रीमद्भगवद्गीता अष्टादशोऽध्यायः मोक्षसंन्यासयोगः श्रीभगवानुवाच यतः प्रवृत्तिर्भूतानां येन सर्वमिदं ततं स्वकर्मणा तमभ्यर्च्य सिद्धिं विन्दति मानवः श्रेयान् स्वधर्मो विगुणः परधर्मात् स्वनुष्ठितात् स्वभावनियतं कर्म कुर्वन्नाप्नोति किल्बिषम् सहजं कर्म कौन्तेय सदोषमपि न त्यजेत् सर्वारम्भा हि दोषेण धूमेनाग्निरिवावृताः असक्तबुद्धिः सर्वत्र जितात्मा विगतस्पृहः नैष्कर्म्यसिद्धिं परमां सन्न्यासेनाधिगच्छति सिद्धिं प्राप्तो यथा ब्रह्मा तथाप्नोति निबोध मे समासेनैव कौन्तेय निष्ठा ज्ञानस्य या परा बुद्ध्या विशुद्धया युक्तो धृत्यात्मानं नियम्य च शब्दादीन् विषयान् त्यक्त्वा रागद्वेषौ व्युदस्य च विविक्तसेवी लग्भाषी यत वाक्कायमानसः ध्यानयोगपरो नित्यं वैराग्यं समुपाश्रितः अहङ्कारं बलं दर्पं कामं क्रोधं परिग्रहं विमुच्य निर्ममः शान्तो ब्रह्मभूयाय कल्पते ब्रह्मभूतः प्रसन्नात्मा न शोचति न काङ्क्षति समः सर्वेषु भूतेषु मद्भक्तिं लभते पराम् भक्त्या मामभिजानाति यावान्यश्चास्मि तत्त्वतः ततो मां तत्त्वतो ज्ञात्वा विशते तदनन्तरम् ॐ तत्सत् Sumaji, are you able to share screen?
I'm not able to open my computer, the download at all, nor my email. So I'm not able to get any of the documents. So if someone can share the document, I am happy to read.
Okay.
It is asking so many questions, and I don't know how to do all that. Some scan this and authenticate that and download this app and all that. It's all just too complicated for me at the moment. I'll try and set it tonight when my husband gets back home. Thank you. Do you want me to read or are you happy to read?
We'll have to start from verse 51. We looked
Okay.
at the importance of Manana, Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. We did that actually twice over. So we'll go to the last paragraph, introduction to the next verses. You can start from here.
Okay. Introduction to the next verses. From now on, we are going to see some verses which talk about what we have to do to gain this Jnana Nishta. It is a summary of that part of the 6th chapter that talks about meditation, put here in a different form in a few words. There are 3 types of knowledge with reference to Atma, the self. One is Paroksha Jnana, indirect knowledge of the fact that the self is Brahman, limitless. This is really not knowledge, but Shraddha in what the Shastra says. It is a belief that Atma is essentially independent of the body-mind-sense complex and is identical with limitless Brahman. Then, by the exposure to the teaching of the Shastra from a teacher who handles it as a pramana, the cognition, vritti jnana, that I am Brahman, aham brahmasmi, takes place. As the Shastra tells it, the listener discovers this fact. If the person
No audio, Sumaji.
Sorry, my internet dropped. Can you hear me now?
Yes, Siddhi.
I am Brahman. Aham Brahman. Okay, thank you. I think somebody else should also be standby. Yeah, someone should also be standby because I don't know what's happening. It's dark and gloomy here. It's winter, so my internet is also not very steady. I am Brahman. Aham Brahmasmi takes place. As the Shastra tells it, the listener discovers this fact. If the person has all the necessary qualifications, there is no obstruction to this knowledge. This is clear, immediate knowledge, aparoksha jnana. But the cognition, vritti jnana, can be opposed by obstructions, pratibandhakas, because it involves the self-atma. I'll read this again. But the cognition, vritti jnana, can be opposed by obstructions, pratibandhakas, because it involves the self-atma. If the knowledge is an object, once you have the vritti jnana, you know it for certain. There is no further Someone will have to share the screen, or if Brahmaraji is there, could raise the screen. Yeah, thank you. If the knowledge is of an object, once you have the vritti jnana, you know it for certain. There is no further problem. There may be some difficulty in gaining the initial cognition, as in understanding the equation on relativity, E equals mc squared. This is not an ordinary equation. It takes a lot of knowledge of physics to understand it. Even though there are obstructions to understand an equation like this, once known, it is known. But in spite of having understood that I am Brahman, there can be obstructions to clarity because aham is involved. The problem is that there is an orientation of I being something entirely different that stands opposed to the fact that I is free from all forms of limitation. I'll read this again. But in spite of having understood that I am Brahman, there can be obstructions to clarify because aham is involved. The problem is that there is an orientation of I being something entirely different that stands opposed to the fact that I is free from all forms of limitations. I'm not getting this. The problem is that there is an orientation of I being something entirely different that stands opposed to the fact that I am free from all forms of limitations. Okay, understood. In spite of the vritti jnana, aham can appear opposed to that cognition created by the Shastra. This is knowledge with obstructions. Sa pratipantaka jnana. The pursuit of jnana nishta is for the sake of removing these obstructions and for gaining certainty of this knowledge of Atma. It involves manana, nididhyasana, and is usually coupled with a lifestyle, sannyasa. The next three verses tell how this jnana nishta is to be pursued. Thank you. We'll have to read this stanza.
Just wanted to check, is anybody else able to share screen? So Sumaji can read. Just let me know if any of you is able to share. Buddhya vishuddhaya yukto dhrityatmanam niyamya cha shabdadi vishayan styatva ragadveshau vyudasya cha. I will just chant the other two also because they're all in one go, and then you can read the word meanings. Vivikta sevi lagvashi yatavakaya manasaha dhyana yoga paro nityam vairagyam samupashritaha ahankaram balam darpam kamam krodham parigraham विमुच्य निर्मम शांतो ब्रह्म भूयाय कल्पते. Are you able to do the word meanings?
Yeah. Vishuddhyaya buddhya. With a mind that is very
Dhaya?
clear.
Yeah.
Vishuddhyaya buddhya.
Vishuddhaya. It is the double
Vishuddhaya. Okay.
buddhya. Yeah.
Buddhya. With a mind that is very clear. Yuktaha. The one who is endowed. Dhritya. With firm resolve. Atmanam. The body mind sense complex. Niyamya. Mastering. Cha. And Sabdhanin Vishayan, all sense objects beginning with sound. Tyaktva. Okay. Shabda sprasha rupa rosa gandha. Shabdadi. You'll have to raise the page. Yeah, thank you. Giving up. Raga dvesho, likes and dislikes. Vyudyasya cha, and giving up. The one who endowed with a mind that is very clear, mastering the body-mind sense complex, being endowed with firm resolve, and giving up the sense objects such as sound, etc., and giving up likes and dislikes. Vivikta Sevi, one who lives in a quiet place. Lagvasi, one who eats lightly. Yata Yadavakyaya Manasaha, one whose speech, body, and mind are mastered. Dhyana Yoga Yata Vak Kaya Manasa, one whose speech, body, and mind are mastered. Dhyana Yoga Paraha, one who's committed to contemplation. Nityam, always. Vairagyam, freedom from longing. Samupashritaha, who has completely resorted to. The one who lives in a quiet place, eats lightly, whose speech, body, and mind are mastered, who is always committed to contemplation, who has completely resorted to freedom from longing. Ahankaram, misplaced, I sense. Balam, power. Darpam, vainfulness. Kamam, binding desire. Krodam, anger. Parigraham, ownership of external things. Vimuchaya, giving up. Nirmamaha, the one who has no sense of ownership of his own body, etc. Shantaha, the one who is tranquil. Brahma Bhudhyaya, Brahma Bhuyaya Kalpate, is fit for certainty about being Brahman. Giving up misplaced I sense, power, vainfulness, binding desire, anger, ownership of external things. The one who has no sense of ownership of his own body, etc., and who's tranquil, is fit for certainty about being Brahman. I have a question on this, that ownership of one's own body. How does one get over that sense? All the rest is fine.
When you do pranayama and all of the things, all sadhana, automatic, that attachment to the body will go.
Yeah, that's fine. But if someone wants to hurt me, then I definitely have to protect my body, no?
No, that you have to protect. You will protect everything, no, whatever you have. But you don't think that you are protecting your body, not yourself. Or means, I mean.
No, but it says giving up the ownership of one's own body. That's also there, part of that.
But protecting, see, if you want to have a vehicle, you have to think this body as a vehicle for moksha. So if vehicle is good, you can reach there safely. So whatever needed to protect that vehicle, you will do it.
Okay, thank you. The way to pursue Jnana Nishta. The one who follows all the things prescribed here becomes qualified to become Brahman. Brahma Bhuyaya Kalpate. He is fit to gain Nishta in the knowledge of the Brahman being himself. Here, the various qualifications mentioned throughout the Gita are brought together in these 3 verses. A person who has lived a life of Karma Yoga, a prayerful life for a length of time, is endowed with a mind that is very clear. Buddhya Vishuddhyaya Yuktah. Buddhya Vishuddhyaya Yuktah.
Vishuddhaya yuktaha.
Vishuddhaya Yuktah. Sorry, thank you. Buddhya Vishuddhyaya Yuktah. He no longer has any confusion about what he seeks in life, because he is very clear about what he wants. He does not attribute to things a value which they do not have and get carried away by false pursuits. This clarity about what is to be accomplished in life makes him free from the hold of likes and dislikes, ragadveshas. Dhriti is courage backed by proper discrimination, a firm resolve with proper attitude. Atma here means the physical body mind sense complex. Niyamya, gaining mastery over the physical body mind sense complex, means making it serve oneself as a vehicle rather than it being a project. Here it is. I'll read it again. Niyamya, gaining mastery over the physical body mind sense complex, means making it serve oneself as a vehicle rather
You
than.
got the answer.
Yeah. Thank you. Making oneself as a vehicle rather than it being a project. So nice. We usually think I am a project. My body, I do this, that. Okay. Maintenance of the body and keeping the mind and senses busy to satisfy their demands becomes an all-consuming project. Maintenance of the body and keeping the mind senses busy to satisfy their demands becomes an all-consuming project if one lacks proper discrimination and the capacity to act on the basis of that viveka. This is another thing. And the capacity to act, that is also important. For the one who recognizes that the pursuit of life, missed that sentence, and becomes all-consuming project if one lacks proper discrimination and the capacity to act on the basis of that viveka. So this also we have to develop, the capacity to act on the basis of that wisdom. For the one who recognizes that the purpose of life is not satisfying fancies and has a commitment to his pursuit of moksha, the physical body-mind sense complex becomes a vehicle for his pursuit. This is with reference to contemplation and also lifestyle. Wow, here comes that. So our lifestyle, that will capacitate us. Keeping the body-mind sense complex under his control means not using it to satisfy fancies and living a very conscious, deliberate life with the end moksha always in view. Thus, this person, Dhritya, with a firm resolve, Atmana, Niyamya, gaining a mastery over his body-mind sense complex, comes to abide in Brahman. Here we are talking about a life of renunciation, the life of a sannyasi. This involves giving up pursuit of the sense objects. So Krishna says, Shabdadin Vishayan Tyaktva. Shabdadin Vishayan Tyaktva. The five sense objects, sound, touch, taste, form, and scent, Shabda Sprashya, Rupa, Rasa, Gandhas, are not pursued as ends. He does not completely abandon all of them, for that would mean giving up food, for instance, which would lead to death. He is pursuing Jnana Nishta, and to do this, he must have his body properly maintained. Therefore, Shankara makes a note here that except those required for maintenance of the body, here comes the clear thing. Except those required for the maintenance of the body, he gives up all other pursuits. With reference to situations and things that are necessary for the sustenance of the body, there are likes and dislikes, ragadveshas, even for a sannyasi. With reference to situations and things that are necessary for the sustenance of the body, there are likes and dislikes, ragadveshas, even for a sannyasi. Those also he gives up. His is a life totally dedicated to the pursuit of Jnana Nishta. Generally, as a sannyasi, one lives a life of a mendicant. A sannyasi is told to live this particular lifestyle as a sadhana. He is supposed to move around, saying only 3 nights in one place, staying only 3 nights in one place. The idea is that he does not develop roots anywhere. But when the pursuit is Jnana Nishta, even that stops. He lives in a quiet place, Vivikta Desha. He has to stay in one place in order to gain this Nishta. Vivikta Desha is a place which is free from people, therefore from noise. Shankara says, it can be a forest, or a sandy bank of a river, or a hill, or a cave. The idea is that it should be a quiet place. The one who has the disposition to live in such a place and follows that inclination is Vivikta Sevi. This is a person who is given to a life of contemplation. If you go to a quiet place and are not ready for contemplation, you will only feel lonely and spend your time writing letters to everybody and seeking other diversions. Or you will leave the place. When he is doing only contemplation, there is not much expenditure of energy, and therefore he is a person whose food intake is light, lagvasi. He does not eat too much, nor is he fasting all the time. Neither is conducive for contemplation. He eats moderately. Shankara says he should eat lightly to ward off obstructions to his contemplation like sleep, etc. If he is overeating, too much blood is used for digestion and not enough is available for the mind. Limited food intake is very important for a contemplative life because when you have nothing else to do, the tendency is to sleep. And to contemplate, one has to have a bright mind that is fresh and contemplative. A person who is committed to a life of Jnana Nishta, whether he wants to convert his knowledge to Nishta or gain the knowledge and convert it into Nishta must necessarily have mastery over his speech, his organs of action and mind. He should be a Yata Vak Kaya Manasa. Yata Vak Kaya Manasa. This is accomplished only by practice. With reference to the organs of action, there is no wasted activity, no mechanical action. Buddhist monks are very diligent in their practice of this. They are very careful about the movements of all their limbs. This alertness with reference to one's movements is an important discipline. Similarly, with reference to talking, there is a certain mastery. Since he is living in a quiet, relatively isolated place, there are not many occasions to talk. But still, as a person, he has to have certain care of the pressure to talk. But still, as a person, he has to have taken care of the pressure to talk. Otherwise, he will be raving. If there is nobody to talk to, it will not take very long for him to begin talking to himself or the trees or the mountains. If there is a pressure to talk, you must talk. To avoid it is dangerous. Therefore, he should be a person who already has control over speaking. Then he can be a Vivikta Sevi. And his mind also is taken care of. That is why a contemplative life is meant for a sannyasi who has lived a life of karma yoga. A person gains this kind of disposition by living in the midst of society with the right attitude. If he then chooses to live a life of sannyasa, that is the life for him. Such a person is totally committed to contemplation, dhyana yoga para. There are two ways of explaining the compound dhyana yoga para. The one who is committed to a life of meditation, dhyana yoga, can be called dhyana yoga para, or according to Shankara, dhyana means contemplation upon the nature of Atma, while yoga means making Atma the single focus of attention. I try to direct my attention to the words that I have come to understand with the help of Shastra and appreciate the meaning as myself. The self is all this. Atma, Atma idam sarvam. This self is complete. I am Atma Puraha, Purnaha. I am Atma Purnaha. The self is pure. Atma Shuddhaha. The self is always free. Atma Nitya Muktaha. The self is limitless. Brahman Atma Param Brahma. The self is limitless Brahman. Atma Param Brahma. The self is the cause of everything. Atma Sarvasya Karanam. This Shabda Anuvidha Savikalpa Samadhi. This Shabda Anuvidha Savikalpa Samadhi is called Dhyana. The entire Vedanta Shastra talks about Atma, and what it says is to be applied with reference to Atma. When I commit my mind to the Shruti's vision of myself, that is called Dhyana. Then yoga is gaining an absorption in that contemplation. This presupposes a commitment to bringing the mind again and again to that point. That alone is kept in view, nothing else. If anything else comes, you again bring the mind back to what you are contemplating upon. This is called yoga. The one who is committed to this does nothing else significant. Dhyana yoga alone is commitment. He does it all the time, nityam. That is why this verse is for a sannyasi. If he is a karma yogi, he cannot do dhyana all the time. He has duties to do. The word nityam reveals that he is a sannyasi. Secondly, Shankara says that, Brahmaraj, thank you. Secondly, Shankara says that the mention of the word nityam qualifying the word dhyana yoga para shows that there is nothing else like mantra japa to be done. Shankara says that the mention of the word nityam qualifying the word dhyana yoga para shows that there is nothing else like mantra japa to be done. Having taken to a life of sannyasa, he has already done a lot of mantra japa, invoking the Lord's grace to gain knowledge. That has all paid off in terms of his capacity to contemplate upon the truth of himself, and therefore it no longer has any value for him personally. His mantra japa revolves into jnana nishta. Since he commits himself to this life of meditation, he has nothing further to do. All this is possible only where there is dispassion, vairagya, which means he is free from the hold of his likes and dislikes, ragadveshas. This applies both to situations and objects, known and unknown. Even heaven does not hold any fascination for him. That disposition is called vairagya. Without that, though he may choose to stay in a quiet place and commit himself to dhyana yoga, his mind will not stay. However, once he has this kind of dispassion, what else will he do but meditate? Anybody wants to add your thoughts?
Can you
This
sum
is
up
what,
that?
yeah, this is what I got from this, that the ultimate goal is moksha, and the path so far which is being described here is for the sannyasa, life of a sannyasi, where he has given everything else and his only goal is moksha, and he has that nishta, that jnana nishta. He's resolved and he has no likes, dislikes, all that was described. So he says to come to that level, one has to go through karma yoga. And while going through karma yoga, we should develop this vairagya. Only then we can come to this state of contemplation. Otherwise, even if we are living in a um, place alone, far away from people, either forest or cave or far away place, but if the mind is busy, then that is not the life of a sannyasa. We may be doing all contemplation and all, but then mind is not fixed. So the first thing is to do karma yoga, cleanse the mind, develop this vairagya. It comes that experience. Vairagya comes with that experience of karma yoga.
Is he
And
not
during
doing
that,
the mantra japa?
no, during his karma yoga life, he would have done all this japa and everything.
Okay, so he has cleaned his mind and ragadvesha has gone.
Yeah,
Because of that,
and
nama jap, whatever japa he has done, he
yeah,
got that siddhi.
grace. Yeah,
Yes.
yes, correct. So then when he is dispassionate, and when his likes and dislikes and all that is gone, then
No,
he has nothing.
He is allowed for a like and raga dvesha only for maintenance of his body, whatever
Yeah,
needed. That
yeah.
is allowed. You see,
It will come naturally. It's not
ah,
a question of allowing. It becomes his nature that he will have raga dveshas to maintain his body for
body that
this
much.
planet. That's all. So he will eat lightly, lagu, and like that. He won't spend his energy in. Initially, they say when you start as a sannyasi, you should not stay in one place for more than 3 nights. You should not develop any roots there. But the later state of a sannyasi, you have to live alone, somewhere far away from noise and away from people. And your only job is contemplating on this Atma, the
What is said
Brahman.
about the Dhriti? Can you go to that paragraph, Dhriti?
Uh,
How is it
yeah,
Dhriti? Oh, sorry.
yeah, Brahmaraji will have to change the page. Go back to that. Down.
Dhriti.
Yeah. Yep.
Is anybody able to share screen? Let me know if any one of you is able to.
Let me see again if my computer is listening to me now. No, it won't. It is still asking me to authenticate. I don't know what that means. Dhriti is courage backed by proper discrimination, a firm resolve with proper attitude. Atma here means the physical body-mind complex. Niyamya, gaining mastery over the physical body-mind sense complex, means making it serve oneself as a vehicle. So that's why this is a very courageous path. Gurudev always says spiritual path is not easy for everyone. Only the brave will walk this path. So we should have that courage backed by proper discrimination. So maintenance of the body and keeping the mind and senses busy to satisfy their demands becomes an all-consuming project. That's what we are currently engaged in, no? Trying to. It is needed when we are in the sansaric world. That's why to become a seeker, a mumukshu, you need to have some maturity in the mind. And that comes only after cleansing the antarkarna through karma yoga. In the process, you will develop vairagya through all the experiences. And during that time only, we also develop that japa, chanting, all that. So that brings us grace. We are able to move towards the life of a mumukshu. And even in that sannyasi life, there are stages, initial and later stages. And we come to this vritti, established in that path, in that lifestyle. So removing the obstacles to contemplation. Further, a few more qualifications are needed. So if someone can send chapter 18 PDF to Sarlaji, she says she can share it.
Shared in the
I am not even able to open my mail or my downloads. It is stopping me with some authentication requirement.
Sarlaji, you can check your email. It was shared almost 2 months ago. So it was, you're part of the Gita Manana group, emailing group.
Because of the memory issue, I have deleted that last time. So it was my mistake. But you
No
can send
problem.
it proper.
Yeah, let
Yeah.
me see if I can share it one more time. Sorry. That would mean I'll have to stop share for a while. Just wait on for a while.
Yeah.
Suma, you can continue. Sumaji, till that time.
No, she has. Yeah, I'll just share the learning, Manana, what I got. Because she
Okay.
has, the screen is gone, no? So, yeah, I'll share one more thing which I got yesterday. This is from the Vishnu Sahasranamam class. The teacher said 5 things, 5 yagyas we can do every day, which will also bring us grace and um, this focus. One is 5 yagyas, one is for your parents and ancestors. So I believe there is some tarpanam that you can do daily. I don't know what that is. Probably uh, offering water, I think. I don't know what is a daily tarpanam that you can do for your parents and ancestors. This is for the body that you have received, that debt. Secondly, you can do your prayers and chanting for the devatas. Not chanting, prayers and pujas for your devatas. Third one is your japa, chanting for the rishis who have given us this wisdom. Fourth one is to feed any bhutas, any animals, insects, anything. So you can give some food to cats and dogs and birds and ants and like that. So some food. Then the fifth one is, what is the fifth one? He said? Not huh. uh, feeding your guests. Either you have somebody coming in unannounced, like that, Aditi. Either you can feed a guest or you can do Annadanam. These 5 yagyas you can do daily, he said. And this will also uh, reduce that raga, dvesha, all that karmic impressions in you, the grip of those karmic impressions. Because we don't do enough charity, I suppose, in this Kali Yuga or in this generation. Uh, and we are very selfish. That is why the raga dveshas are having a very strong hold on us. So when we do these 5 yagyas daily, he said, then this karmic impressions will start becoming thinner and thinner, lighter, because the grace of the divine comes to you. And these are all happening in the unknown realm. So he was saying that usually we give importance to what we see. We focus on our children, their education, acquiring wealth, all that what is manifest, we are focusing. But if you focus on the unmanifest, that is much more powerful. So that is what he was saying yesterday. So I just felt good. I thought I'll share it. Okay. Removing the obstacles to contemplation. Further, Brahmaraji, I couldn't hear you.
I've already emailed it. Let me know when, Sarlaji, you can share the screen. Once you're sharing, this will automatically go.
Very feeble voice,
Sarlaji, once you got the, Brahmaraji has sent you the email of chapter 18. Please check and you can share. That's what she said.
Yeah, I'm checking that and doing that. You continue
Okay.
till that time. Yeah, I will let
Okay.
you know.
Okay. So, removing the obstacles to contemplation. Further, a few more qualifications are mentioned. he has also freed himself from a number of things that would inhibit his capacity to contemplate. The first is ahankara, the misplacement of his sense of I in the body mind sense complex, and especially in the sense of doership.
Sumaji, can you hear me?
No, I can hear you, but I can't see anything on the screen other than
No, I have
all of
stopped
us.
that because
Mm.
that preview is not coming. That whatever printed is there, no, it is not coming in that file. That's why
Oh, go
it was
down and
blank
see.
for me. No, it is blank for me. Only pages are coming. I will check tomorrow. From tomorrow, I can do.
Okay, then again you have to, Ramaraji will have to share.
How do we do it? I like you guide me also. I also don't know how to share.
Yeah, there
You
is a.
have your chapter
I have
18
the
open.
mail.
Okay,
Yeah, I
after
have
the
the
class,
mail.
I will tell you.
Okay.
I will.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Uh, so it's very simple. You just have to open your chapter 18, and if you go to your Zoom page, down it says there's a green thing which says share. You click on that, and your whatever is open will come up, and you click on that, and it will come for all of us. That is how we share the document. Okay. So further, a few more qualifications are mentioned. He has also freed himself from a number of things that would inhibit his capacity to contemplate. The first is ahankara, the misplacement of the sense of I in the body mind sense complex, and especially in the sense of doership. This has been accomplished first by the cultivation of an attitude of doing what is to be done because it is enjoined by Ishvara. So this can be accomplished first by the cultivation of an attitude of doing what is to be done because it is enjoined by Ishvara. An action is chosen and done not merely with the attitude that it is the Lord's will, but with an understanding that though it is done by me, in order to do all this, I require a body, mind, and a variety of other things. All these, all these are given to me, and therefore it is given to me to do. This is entirely different from the sense of I do, where there is a lack of viveka and arrogance. Ramaraji, you'll have to move the screen up. An arrogance born of ignorance. That is ahankara. It is completely given up by this sannyasi who understands that in a given situation he is called upon to do certain things. Wow. He has an understanding that in a given situation he's called upon to do certain things, and therefore he will use his body mind sense complex to accomplish that. Wow. Bala is strength in terms of capacity, power, skills, etc., which is backed by kama and raga. These are not things that can be given up, nor do they need to be, but they can give rise to a pride or expectation of recognition. That is what is given up by the sannyasi. He acknowledges that he has certain gifts but does not flaunt them or misuse them. He does not manipulate the world with his powers, etc., whatever they may be. When you accomplish something, the sense of success can give rise to an elation, harsha. Then, when you look around for recognition, that is called darpa. Every child wants this. When he jumps from the bench, the first thing he does is to look at his mother. He wants her to say, "Yes, you are wonderful." He wants approval and congratulations that is necessary for the child to develop a healthy self-image. In the beginning, he must have to develop self-respect and dignity. So this is necessary for child to develop healthy self-image. In the beginning, he must have that to develop self-respect and dignity. If the child does not get adequate approval, he will continue to seek this kind of acknowledgement as an adult. Then it is called vanity. It is good, perhaps for mental health, but it is not helpful to a spiritual pursuit. If the need for such recognition persists and he keeps on gathering it, he will develop an inflated ego to compensate for his impoverished sense of self-worth. Once his ego is inflated, it will be hard for him to respect anything, and it will not take long for him to transgress the laws of karma. Shankara quotes here, the elated becomes vainful, and the vainful causes dharma. Kristo driptyati driptaha dharmam atikramati. Kristo driptyati driptaha dharmam
That is
atikramati.
Harsho means elated.
Harsho,
Harsho.
dharma,
Darpati.
harsho, dharma, harsho,
Darpayati.
darpayati, dripta, dharmam, atikramati. Being vainful, he will not respect anyone, thinking that there is no one equal to him, nor will he respect the moral order. That was the problem of Hiranyakashipu. He would not allow his son Prahalada to repeat the Lord's name, saying, "Only my name should be repeated." This is born out of vainfulness.
I am able to share. Can I share now?
Yeah,
Page.
yeah. The sannyasi, however, has no need for this kind of recognition. He is awake to the nature of himself and finds his fulfillment in his own fullness. Purnatva. Any recognition he may receive will fall far short of what he knows of himself to be. So it is not going to cause any elation in him. He recognizes that everything is himself, and therefore every glory everywhere is his. From another standpoint, he understands very well that any accomplishment is dependent upon a large number of factors, all of which are given. Moreover, he knows that he never did anything at any time. He is a karta. Therefore, there is no sense of ownership with reference to any accomplishment that may lead to darpa. All that is given up. Naturally, He has given up desire, kama, in the sense that any desires that he may have is non-binding. It is fulfillment. He is happy, and in its non-fulfillment also he is happy. When that is so, a frustrated desire is not going to cause anger, krodha. These are two types of parigraha, possessions, internal and external. By giving up kama and krodha, the sannyasi has already taken care of the problem of parigraha, the need to possess or own various things internally. Now we come to the parigraha. Are you able to share, Sarlaji? Now we come to parigraha with external objects, with reference to external objects. When he is already a sannyasi, what kind of parigraha will he have? A sannyasi is one who has given up his house, job, and all his possessions. He has left with a he has left all he has left with are a few things like his clothes, his kamandalu, and japamala. Therefore, there is no possibility of parigraha for him. Still, parigraha is mentioned because even with reference to these few objects, there can be a tendency to accumulate and hoard. He may have 10 kamandalus, or even though he is a mendicant, he may have a collection of begging bowls. That is parigraha. Possessions have a knack of gathering around, or have a knack of gathering around you, unless you consciously keep clearing them away all the time. Being a sannyasi, he has also given up his family connections and other relationships. Yet it is said here that he gives up the sense that this is mine. With reference to what? Shankara says that even though he has given up everything else, he can still have a sense of ownership with reference to his own body. Once he gives that up, he has no mamatva, even in the sustenance of the body. He has no agenda for how long it should last, and therefore, as long as it is there, he is happy. This is just another reflection of the fact that he lives one day at a time. Shankara says that because he has no mamatva, he is content with himself. Being free from elation and depression, naturally, he is tranquil, shanta. Brahmaraji, please raise the page. It's all very clear, no? It's very nice. Such a person can gain certainty in the knowledge, I am Brahman. This is called Brahma Bhuya Brahma Bhavana, becoming Brahma. He is fit for it, Kalpate. That is, he is ready for immediate knowledge of that fact. For that, he has to live a life of Jnana Nishta, which is also the end. The one who has clear knowledge that he is Brahman, and also the one who is committed to the pursuit of the knowledge, is called Jnana Nishta. Oh, very nice. So first you have to get that clear knowledge and then live that knowledge. Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma na shochati na kankshati sama sarveshu bhuteshu madbhaktim labate param. Brahma Bhutaha, the one who has become Brahman. Did I read correctly?
Yes, it was nicely chanted. Except that the last one.
Brahma Bhutaha, the one who has become Brahman, has recognized oneself as Brahman. Prasannatma, one whose mind is cheerful. Na shochati, does not grieve. Na kankshati, does not long for anything. Sarveshu bhuteshu samaha, the one for whom all beings are the same as himself. Param mad bhaktim, the highest devotion to me. Gains, labate gains. The one who has become Brahman has recognized oneself as Brahman, whose mind is cheerful, does not grieve, nor long for anything. The one for whom all beings are the same as himself gains the highest devotion to me. Very good. Yeah. Brahma Bhuta, the one who has become Brahman, that is, has recognized oneself as Brahman, can be taken absolutely or relatively, since there is a verse that says, such a person comes to know me later. It is a relative. It means one who has gained knowledge of Brahman indirectly. Paro sataya, parokshataya, and not aparokshataya, sataya, as himself, not as aham brahmasmi. He has come to know through the Shastra that Atma is Brahman, and as a sannyasi, he has taken to a life of jnana nishta to understand that. He is prasannatma, has a cheerful mind. That is an important thing. It indicates that he has gone through a life of yoga. Shankara says that one gains such a disposition. It is not natural, but something he has acquired by living a life of karma yoga. He has done whatever is necessary to gain a cheerful disposition and is more or less happy with himself. Only then is Brahmanishta possible, because the sadhana for that is contemplation, which implies a mind that is contemplative, that is not accomplished just by will. It is something that grows on a person over a period of time as one lives a prayerful life and takes care of all one's psychological problems. Could you please raise the page, Brahmaraji? Such a person does not come to grieve, na shochati, either because of a lack of resources or because of the limitations of the body, mind, or senses. He accepts the body mind sense complex as it is, whatever limitations it may have. Even if it is lame or old or weak, these things do not affect him. Nor is he affected by any lack of money, security, etc. Because he is a sannyasi. He has given up all these things, but if he is not ready for that, he may regret it later, wishing he had retained certain things. The person under discussion here has no regrets. He has no sense of deficiency, but rather is content with what he has. When this is so, naturally he does not have any longing. Na kankshati, for things he does not have. Na kankshati, he has no longing for things that he does not have. What is not with him, he does not bother about. What is not with him, he does not bother about. And with reference to the people and other living creatures around him, he sees them the same as himself. He understands that what makes him happy makes them happy. What makes him unhappy makes them unhappy. He knows that what he needs is sought after by all. What he does not want to happen to him is exactly what is not wanted by others. This is the disposition of a person who is not self-centered and has a clear appreciation of dharma, the universal order. If one is self-centered, he is controlled by raga dveshas, likes and dislikes. If he looks upon all other beings as himself, he is free from the hold of raga dveshas. That person, Bhagavan says, gains the highest devotion to me. Mad bhaktim labate param. Bhakti was defined in a fourfold way according to the type of devotee that is talked about. There is the devotion of a distressed person, artha, who prays only when he is in a difficult situation. Otherwise, he does not think about Bhagavan. When things do not go well and nothing else has worked, the last resort is God for such a person. Then there is the devotee, arthati, who turns to God not only when he is in distress, but when he wants to accomplish something. Besides the efforts he makes, he appeals to the Lord to make up for all the omissions and commissions so that he can get what he. Could you please raise the page, Brahmaraji? What he wants. The third type of devotee is the jignasu, the one who wants to know the Lord. And the fourth one is the one for whom that quest is fulfilled, jnani. The jnani is the devotee mentioned here in this verse. For him, the knowledge of the identity between himself and the Lord is certainty. For him, the knowledge of the identity between himself and Lord is a certainty. This is called jnana nishta, as is the attempt to gain that clarity through manana and nididhyasana. His devotion is the best because there is no division between the jiva, the devotee, and Ishvara. What is the characteristics of that knowledge? I won't be able to read this well. Bhaktya mama bijayanti bijanati yavan yascha. Can someone please read? Tattva.
Everybody.
Your voice is very faint, Brahmaraji.
Internet is not
Shall I
very
read?
good. Bhaktya
Yeah, read.
mama vijanati yavanyaschasmi tatvatah tato mam tatvato jnatva vishate tadanantaram.
Bhaktya, by knowledge. Yavan ya cha asmi iti. As to how much and who I am. Tattvataha, in reality, mam, abhijanati. He, Brahma Bhutaha, knows me properly. Tatha, thereafter, Vataha. In reality, Mam, Jnanatva, knowing me, Tatar Nantaram. Soon after that, Mam Vishate, he enters me. By bhakti, knowledge, he, the Brahma Bhutaha, knows me properly as how much I am and who I am in reality. Thereafter, knowing me in reality, he enters me. Soon after that, knowing. So by bhakti, in the form of knowledge, he knows me in reality. Wow, see, bhakti in the form of knowledge. So by bhakti in the form of knowledge, he knows me in reality. Krishna says, he knows me through bhakti. This bhakti is knowledge, not the usual understanding of bhakti. So this bhakti is knowledge because there is no way of knowing anything except by knowledge. By simple prayer, you do not recognize an object. This is bhakti, which is in the form of knowledge of Parameshwara, such as we have seen is the bhakti of a jnani. Abhijanati means he knows properly, totally. That is, he recognizes Ishvara as himself. Therefore, Shankara glosses the word bhaktya as jnana lakshanaya bhaktya. By a bhakti that is not other than knowledge. Further, he knows how much I am. This is with reference to the varieties of upadhis, because of which there seem to be differences. The entire creation, Jagat, is nothing but Parameshwara, which is but Brahman with Maya Upati. Within that, there are all the elements beginning with space and further Upatis, so that we have the Devas like Indra, etc., and varieties of Jiva Upatis like Arjuna, Dharmaputra, etc. This extent of Parameshwara, how cosmic he is, this person comes to know. He knows to what extent Ishvara expresses himself in terms of his total, samashti, and individual. Could you please raise the page? Samashti and individual. Come down. Please come down. Come down, little more. Individual, Vyasi, Upadhis. Not only does he know this Sabhunam Brahma with reference to these Upadhis, but he also knows the essential nature of Ishvara. Krishna says, could you please raise the page? Ramaraji. Krishna says he knows me essentially. Ma abhijanati yavan ya cha aham asmi tatvataha. That is, he knows Ishvara as the one who is totally free from all upadhis. So this is the arupa. With upadhis, he has many forms, rupas. Without upadhis, he is free from upadhis, Ishvara. This is Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Brahma. Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Brahma. So truth, wisdom, Anantam is infinity, no? Limitless, Brahma. Spoken of in the 15th chapter as Uttama Purushaha, who is free from any particular attribute or location. Shankara says he knows this non-dual consciousness, Advaitam, Chaitanya Matra Eka Rasam Ma Abhijanati. How can you know the non-dual consciousness? If there is a knower involved, there is duality. Thus, he says, it is only as one's own consciousness that one knows this non-dual Brahman. Thus, he says, it is only as one's own consciousness that one knows this non-dual Brahman. Shankara makes it very clear here. He is unborn, not subject to age, is not subject to change or death, nor is he subject to any fear, because there is no second thing at all. And he cannot be destroyed in any manner. The whole creation is subject to destruction, but not this Param Brahma into which it resolves. One minute, come down, please. Not come down a little more. Raise the, come down,
About
please. Bring the feet.
20 minutes. Maybe we
Yeah. Should we stop here?
Yeah, I think we stop here.
Yeah, we can do Manana then. What is entry into the Lord? We'll see tomorrow. So, this Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. That knowledge he gets. He also knows how much Brahman is. That is, with all the upatis, in all the forms, in all the varieties. He knows all that completely. And he also knows the Nirguna Brahman. That's the non-dual consciousness. That is Jnana Nishta. So there is two description here, no? Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahman is one. The other one is Sat Chit Anandam. Isn't it? Chidananda Rupam Shivoham Shivoham. So both, so this Sat Chit Anandam and Satyam Jnanam Anantam. Satyam Jnanam Anantam is the non-dual consciousness. Sat Chit Anandam is the fullness of that consciousness. Is that correct? Way of understanding. Yeah, someone shares what you've gained. Please share your learnings.
I just felt the most amazing. Sannyasi lives his life as means day as a one day at a time.
Brahmaraji, your voice is very faint. Saralaji, your voice is very faint. Okay, I think I have to raise my volume. Yeah, please say what you were saying.
I was saying sannyasi lives his life as a one day at a time.
Yeah. No possessions, parigraha, internally or externally. Very nice. Want to add? Anyone else wants to add anything?
I have written in the chat.
Okay. Give up raga dvesha and mastering body mind sense complex is the key. Yeah, very correct. So the first job is that giving up raga dveshas through karma yoga, cleansing, and developing vairagya with awareness, not with frustration, but with awareness. It comes with experience. It happens. It's a happening. And then move on to sannyasa, the initial stage, and then you come to this jnana nishta through contemplation, life of contemplation. And then you arrive at this knowledge of Brahman completely. You know him with all his attributes and the Nirguna Brahman, that is Ishvara without the Upadhis, which is the non-dual existence, non-dual consciousness. It is Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahman. That is only one exists, that truth, which is limitless. You can't express it, but you can be that. That is non-dual consciousness.
Sumaji, what was described there when the sannyasi eats less? What happens? How the blood and all that? Can you remember that? How his mind get clarity and all? Lagvashi and Mita, Ahari, sannyasi
That is if you eat too much, then the blood rushes to digest the food that you have eaten.
stomach.
So yeah. So you don't have enough energy to do contemplation. So you become sleepy and all that, no? So your
Lazy.
energy, it goes away, it becomes dull. So to have this contemplation, you must have a sharp mind and prasanna chitta.
Hmm.
For that, we must live lightly, eat lightly, live in a secluded place,
Means
and
all
bring your
the sense organs or touch and sparsh. Means whatever that senses, he has to be controlled. He has to control that. So in sannyasi.
uh,
Because
not
he gets
just
mastering on that, but whatever needed for
ma-
maintenance of body, he will eat. Means whatever needed for maintenance of the body, he will do. But otherwise, he has a controlled thing on that. All five
yeah,
senses.
that control comes from knowledge, not just
Hmm.
willpower.
Hmm. Clarity in the means when
Yeah,
he has the knowledge, he will do that. Okay, thank you.
yes, yeah. He is very clear in his mind that this body sense complex is only a vehicle to get to his goal of moksha, of jnana nishta. So he will use it. He will use his body mind sense complex only for that. And this is used with wisdom, with awareness. And over a period of time, he says towards the end, he even gives up that that notion also, that this body is mine. Instead, he will see it everything as a gift for to reach that Brahman. So gift from Brahman to reach that Brahman. So he will only use it for that. I wouldn't even say use it. It will only happen that way. And over a period of time, he will come to have this knowledge of him completely. That's what Krishna says. Then he enters me. That is when he knows me completely, how much as well. That is all my varieties, with all my upadhis, and Ishvara without the upadhis. Both he has complete experiential wisdom. Then he has become me. He has entered me. That is the bhakti Bhagavan is talking about here. Not the other kind of prayer when we want something or when we are in trouble or out of curiosity we have bhakti. That is also good. But this bhakti is bhakti by of knowledge of who Ishvara is. Shall we end here today?
Thank you. You can go.
Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Jai Guru.
मनोबुद्ध्यहङ्कार चित्तानिनाहं न च श्रोत्रजिह्वे न च घ्राणनेत्रे न च व्योमभूमिर्न तेजो न वायु चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं न च प्राणसंज्ञो न वै पञ्चवायु न वा सप्तधातु न वा पञ्चकोश न वाक्पाणिपादं न चोपस्थपायु चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं न मे द्वेषरागो न मे लोभमोहो मदोर्नैव मे नैव मात्सर्यभावः न धर्मो न चार्थो न कामो न मोक्षः चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहम् न पुण्यं न पापं न सौख्यं न दुःखं न मन्त्रो न तीर्थं न वेदा न यज्ञ अहं भोजनं नैव भोज्यं न भोक्ता चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहम् न मृत्युर्न शङ्का न मे जातिभेदः पिता नैव मे नैव माता न जन्म न बन्धो न मित्रं गुरो नैव शिष्य चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहम् अहं निर्विकल्पो निराकाररूपो विभूत्वाच्च सर्वत्र सर्वेन्द्रियाणां न च सङ्गतं नैव मुक्तिर्न मेया चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं 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 शिवोऽहम्
Jai Gurudev.